For Action's Al Vaughters has been digging into several of these cases this year. In February, Al told us the city auctioned this home in Riverside to the complete surprise of the family who owned it because of $440 in unpaid garbage user fees. Just last week, Al told us about a woman's fight to save her late mother's home on the east side, again over a few $100s in late fees. And now we're talking about another case, this time in a North Buffalo neighborhood near Delaware Park and the Nichols School. This three-bedroom, 1,500-square-foot home sold for $175,000 in 2010, and 4 years later, the city moved in and sold it for $50,000 less than that. The family whose elderly mother lived here say they had no idea the house was in foreclosure, and they have a pretty good reason why. Call for Action's Al Vaughters is here to tell us what happened. Al?
Jackie, Patricia Brown downsized from her big family home to a smaller house not far away. But records show city officials sent her new property tax bills to her old former address. And when the taxes didn't get paid, they foreclosed.
So I wanted it here.
Patricia Brown and her family have put a lot of work into her North Buffalo home, including a new fireplace.
We painted and we had the floors done, we had rugs installed, basically just to make it her house.
But last month, city officials sold Pat's house at the annual tax foreclosure auction for a fraction of what it's worth to cover the back property taxes. Although these records show when the city sent out her tax bills and the notices of foreclosure, they sent the bills to her former address.
She got her water and her garbage bills because she pays them.
Yeah.
But she never got the taxes.
Annette Parker is a retired Buffalo police officer and friend of the family who took Pat to City Hall to find out how the city could send some bills to the right address and others to the wrong one. They're sending the property tax bills to the wrong address.
To the wrong addresses.
But they sent the garbage and the sewer bills to the right address.
Correct.
How does that happen?
Well, they did explain to me that when it comes to the garbage and sewer and water, that they're not connected together in their system.
In fact, Pat and Deborah only learned about the house being sold because Pat's realtor just happened to be at the city auction and even told the buyer there had to be a mistake.
That my mother would have never sold that house, and she would have never let it go into foreclosure. And the guy said, well, you know, I bought it.
Every time a bill came, I would pay it. And I've done that for my whole life, even on Richmond. There was never anything that I wouldn't pay, because you're supposed to.
Pat Brown now has to go to court to try to save her home. The Western New York Law Center has taken the city to court over its imperfect foreclosure practices. And coming up at 6, we're asking, when will this all end? Al Vaughters, News 4 at 5:30.